Hello everybody. Welcome to the Bit-Size Stories channel. If you like the stories, please consider to like, subscribe and comment down below. Would help me a ton. The group embarked on their journey back to Alara's village. Despite Fendrel's weakened state, he persevered. Upon reaching the village, they settled into the cozy inn, where Fendrel wasted no time in beginning Alara's magical education. Each morning, they gathered in a quiet corner of the inn's common area, and Fendrel delved into the intricacies of magical theory, explaining the principles that governed the arcane arts. I may not be able to wield magic as I once did, Fendrel spoke weakly. But I can still impart my knowledge and wisdom to you, Alara. Your potential is boundless, and I see greatness in you. We can work together to strengthen your abilities. Alara's eyes shimmered with excitement and gratitude as she nodded in agreement. I am honored, Fendrel. I promise I will do my best to learn and carry on your legacy. In the afternoons, they ventured into the nearby woods, away from the prying eyes of the villagers, to allow Alara to practice her spellcasting. Fendrel carefully guided her, ensuring she understood the nuances of each spell and encouraged her to find her own connection with the magical energies. Remember, magic is not just about power, but about the connection you forge with the energies around you, he advised. The rest of the group grew restless during their stay in the village. Sir Aldrich, accustomed to a life of action and efficiency, felt that time was slipping away. He struggled with the idea of staying in one place when there were threats lurking in the world that needed to be confronted. Grom, ever pragmatic, voiced his concerns about Fendrel's vulnerability in the wilderness. He worried about the old wizard's safety and the potential dangers they might face if confronted by more demonic beasts. Grom was torn between his desire to protect Fendrel and the need to continue their mission. One evening, Thrain, Lirith, Ayala, Grom and Sir Aldrich found themselves deep in conversation outside the inn. They weighed the risks and benefits of their current situation, trying to find a balance between protecting Fendrel and fulfilling their duty to combat the spreading darkness. I understand the urgency of our mission, Lirith said softly, trying to mediate the growing tension. But we cannot rush Alara's training. She needs time to master her abilities. And Fendrel's guidance is essential for that. Grom's jaw tightened, torn between his desire to protect Fendrel and the need to act swiftly against the spreading darkness. I know, but we can't afford to stay here indefinitely. There's too much at stake. Ayala nodded in agreement, feeling the weight of the decision weighing heavily on her heart. I worry for Fendrel's safety if we venture out into the wilderness again. He is not as strong as he once was. Alara overheard their conversation and felt hurt by their apparent lack of understanding and empathy. How can you be so heartless, she exclaimed, her voice tinged with anger and hurt. Fendrel is doing everything he can to help me, and you want to leave just because it's inconvenient for you? Grom sighed, trying to remain calm. It's not that we don't care, Alara. But we have to take action now, before the darkness spreads even more. And we can't do that if we're stuck in one place. Lirith and Thrain stepped in to support Alara, their voices firm but compassionate. Alara's training is essential for our mission as well, Lirith stated. She has the potential to become a powerful ally against the darkness, and that can't be overlooked. Fendrel is doing his best passing his wisdom to her. Thrain added. There are certain things you cannot rush. Ayala found herself torn between her devotion to helping others and her love for her husband, Grom. She understood his concerns for Fendrel's safety, but she also recognized the significance of Alara's training. Her heart was split between her loyalty to the group and love for her husband. I don't want to choose between you and the group, Ayala said tearfully. But I can't abandon either of you. Alara's frustration reached its peak, and she lashed out at Ayala, accusing her of not taking her side. You're just like them. You don't understand how important this is to me. Grom stepped in, trying to defend Ayala, but Alara's anger only escalated. He remained calm, but firm, as he took Ayala's hand and began to pack their belongings, signaling their departure from the group. "Enough, Alara. We are leaving. But it doesn't mean we don't care about you or Fendrell. We just have a different perspective on how to handle the situation." Sir Aldrich, seeing the tension escalating, also decided to leave. He packed his belongings and joined Grom and Ayala. Feeling that their mission required swift action and that they could no longer afford to remain in the village. Fendrell, hearing the raised voices, emerged from the inn, witnessing the departure of his companions with a heavy heart. He understood their reasoning but couldn't help feeling saddened by their departure. He turned to Alara, who was tearful and upset. "People's paths often diverge, my dear. Each of them has their own journey to follow, just as you do." Alara nodded, wiping her tears away. "I know, Fendrell. But it's hard." Fendrell smiled warmly. "It is. But we must carry on. Your training is crucial, and we can't allow ourselves to be derailed by the challenges that lie ahead." He returned to the inn. Alara followed him but was still visibly upset. He approached her and placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "They had to make their choice, my dear," he said softly. "We all have our own paths to follow, and I believe they will find their way back to us when the time is right." Despite the discord within the group, Fendrell remained determined to continue Alara's training and guide her in becoming the mage she was destined to be. He knew that their journey was far from over and that the darkness they sought to confront still loomed in the shadows. That was the end of our story. If you liked the story, please consider to like, subscribe and comment down below. See you at the next one. Goodbye.